Earlier today, a local nonprofit announced its San Diego COVID-19 Community Response Fund has just granted $11.4 million to 25 nonprofit organizations on the front line of the pandemic, the health and the economic crisis. They've given nearly $25 million away since this whole thing started. Here now to talk more about all of that is Brian Zambano with the San Diego Foundation. Brian, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me, Anna.
Okay, so the San Diego Foundation is giving $10 million just to provide child care for essential workers and others during the coronavirus pandemic. Tell us about that.
Thank you. Yes, well, thanks to $10 million in stimulus funding from both the county and the city, the San Diego Foundation's COVID-19 Community Response Fund is going to support thousands of families and children through the Emergency Childcare Voucher program. That program is going to be administered by the YMCA of San Diego County and Child Development Associates, and they're going to provide essential workers and at-risk children with childcare during the public health crisis. And our fund has granted $5 million to both those organizations, thanks to the county and the city, to do that really important work.
That's incredible. There are thousands of employees still going to work every day. Their kids have been out of school. The camps have been canceled or altered. So if families want to connect to that, do they need to just connect to those actual local organizations like the Y?
Yes, it's the YMCA of San Diego County and Child Development Associates. And like you say, if we're going to get back to rebuilding San Diego, people have to get back to work. And if they're going to go back to work, they have to know their kids are going to be somewhere safe and healthy. And that's exactly what this program is going to do.
Wonderful. Since March 16th, so since the shutdown, you have gotten more than $50 million just in requests from hundreds of nonprofits around San Diego. So explain to people the dire need you're hearing about in our area.
Well, that's just it. I'm glad you brought that up, because as we talk about granting out $25 million, there is still 50 or more in applications that we've received at the San Diego Foundation for our COVID-19 Community Response Fund. That just shows the depth of need in our community. So I just hope people listening and people supporting the fund know this is the beginning of a very long process. The need is there. It's an emergent need. It's happening right now. We need to continue doing all of this work to make sure our community has what it needs to get back to rebuilding.
Can you paint the picture for us? I mean, you don't have to get into specifics and to keep people's privacy, but paint the picture so people understand that, and then maybe if they have the means, they can help.
That would be great if they could, because as you could see from some of our recent grant outflow, there is still money that needs to be given for food. This latest round, our 13th round of grants, included $225,000 to the San Diego Hunger Coalition. There's still families that don't have enough food to get by right now. There's still families that can't get back to work because they don't have the services they need. There's still healthcare providers and people who provide emergency services for our community. The need is great. It is significant, and it's going to be going for a long time. And if anyone can help support, they can go to the sdfoundation.org/COVID-19 to support our fund, or support the nonprofits that you know that are doing all this great work.
This coronavirus community response fund, to date, you've given about $25 million out to more than 150 nonprofits. Tell people about all that. So you mentioned the food resources that you've helped. What are some of the other places where you have sent that money so far?
Well, we want to make sure that it's not just one area, but it's also the entire county. As you see by our most recent round of granting, there's other support for Elder Help of San Diego received $50,000 for essential resources for seniors. Our seniors right now are our most vulnerable population. They can be oftentimes alone and secluded, and they need essential support as well. Workforce development. We need people to get different training for different jobs because our workforce is changing. How do we get people who need work the training they need to fill the positions that we know are going to be essential going forward? So the need is great. And again, it's a lot of different areas and throughout the county.
Yeah, so it's helping with childcare. It's helping with food. I mean, just the basic necessities, but also looks like to organizations that promote employment opportunities for certain parts of our area. What a great work you are doing, Brian, with the San Diego Foundation. We appreciate you. We will put a link to your website on KUSI.com. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Anna. We really appreciate it.
All right, so we are on the cusp